sometimes if we're communicating with the kids a certain thing, and then they go home and they hear something completely different from the parents, or even if our coaching staff is not on the same page and we're telling the kids different things, now we're losing credibility as coaches, number one. And if we lose credibility and respect towards the athletes, we've lost them. They're not going to listen to us, right? And it's essential, it's crucial to have that connection between the athlete and the coach and the parent if we want these kids to essentially go to war for us out there on the mat, right? It's a combat sport. It's not easy on the kids. The only way they're going to peak their performance or maximize their performance, whatever that means for each athlete, is if we create that trust and they know that we got their back and we're in their corner for a reason, right? So it's crucial for you guys to support the coach's message towards the athletes. Now, if you don't trust us, if you don't trust what we're doing, that's a whole nother thing. Maybe we're not the right place, right, for you guys. But we're assuming if you're here and if you sign up your kids for the best wrestler, we're assuming that you guys are trusting our system, trusting the results that we've provided in the past, trusting our coaching staff, and we're assuming that you guys are behind us as well. It's not just like, you gotta understand, we're doing this because we have your kids' best interest. So we're on the same team is what I'm saying. We're not doing this for no reason, and then we expect the kid to go and perform to the best of their ability. So what I'm saying is it's really crucial for us to be all on the same page. 2, commitment to excellence. So our goal is to build an elite, truly an elite wrestling club here in Emporia. Not just for the town of Emporia, but for the whole state of Kansas, right? Not just for the whole state of Kansas, but for the Midwest. We have 4 locations now, the best wrestler. 1's in Iowa, 2 in Nebraska, 1 in Kansas. If you're a member here or anywhere, you guys can go and feel free to go to any of those locations whenever you want to for free, no additional cost, just because you're a member. You guys can go and train, get different partners, show up whenever you want to. You're welcome at any of our locations. You can see different kids. We have really tough kids. You know, in the Iowa and Nebraska locations, and here we're gonna have tough kids as well, I'm sure. So cross training is awesome. Feel free to go to any of those. You're welcome anywhere. But my point is, this is much more than just, hey, let's do really good at the local tournaments, okay? If that is your goal for your kid, that's okay. That's fine. But just communicate it with us, right? Because if you're attending the best wrestler, we're automatically assuming that you want to maximize your kid. Maximize your kid's potential, okay? We don't know what that looks like. We've developed Olympians, world champions, world team members, many national champions, many state champions. So my point is this: why not your kid, right? We don't know what's gonna happen. There's a lot of variables, right? Number one, the kid has to want it. Number one, the kid has to want it. We cannot want it for the kid. You cannot want it for your kid. They have to be the ones that want to do it. And how does that happen? A lot of times, right now, if you ask your kid, hey, do you want to be a world champion? They have no idea what you're talking about, okay? So a lot of this is just trusting the process, trusting the coaches, communicating with the kids and inspiring them, motivating them, encouraging them to dream big, right? They don't know what it's like right now to be a world champion or a world team or even wrestle Division 1. They've seen it, but they don't know what it takes. And right now it's so out of reach for them, especially the younger ones, that talking about this may even sound crazy, right? It's like, I don't know, little Johnny, he's not gonna make it there. You know, we're just coming here just to wrestle. You cannot communicate like that to your kid, right? You gotta hold them accountable to a high standard. And then what happens after that, we don't know, right? Injuries happen. Genetics, believe it or not, is something we cannot fake. Genetics is a big thing. Not everyone is genetically gifted to that level, right? And that's okay. But there's expectations and there's certain things that are out of our control as coaches, right? Discipline, I'm gonna go over this. Discipline, effort, attitude, respect. All these things we can encourage the kids and teach them to do. After that, everything will take care of itself. I cannot promise you that everyone's gonna be a national champion. Can't promise you that everyone's gonna be a state champion. But we can sure communicate to them that way and expect that out of them. We want to hold them to a higher standard. That's the only way that they're going to be the one kid out of a small town that becomes an NCAA champion or a world team member, right? There's plenty, I get goosebumps talking about this. There's plenty of examples on this. Kids come out of nowhere and become the next big thing, right? Why not your kids? We can easily do that if they buy in, if they're disciplined, if they start thinking that big, right? And not just play small here and try to focus on winning local tournaments only. So it's really important to communicate that well to your kids. I promise you it's crucial. Repetition matters. So again, when they come to practice, and this starts from your expectations at home as parents and our expectations as coaches. If they come to practice and we allow them to just talk around and chit chat, right? We're not maximizing them. They're wasting their time. Not literally wasting their time, but they're not maximizing their time. This is very crucial. If they come in here and they spend 10 minutes chit-chatting about the dog at home and homework or boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, right? They're not focused on the task at hand. They're not drilling. And it matters because you may think, well, I'm sending him to practice. Why am I not seeing results? Well, you coming to practice and going through the motions, it's not the same thing as your kid being 100% focused on the task at hand, wanting to learn, thinking about the move. Coaching their partner, that means that even when they're not working on it, they're still engaged on the move, right? And coaches are gonna hold them disciplined. We're not gonna let them just talk and distract the whole group. At that point, we're not being productive. We're not maximizing the room, and we don't want that, right? There's plenty of other spaces that will allow that to happen. But if we're trying to maximize our room, our kids, our parents, our team, we have to, discipline is crucial. We have to make sure that we're on the same page and we're holding these kids to a higher standard. So my point is, if they come in here and we tell them drill a high crotch, okay, or double leg, go drill double legs, and the kids take 30 minutes to do 5 reps, that's not the same as doing 50 reps in 30 minutes. And it adds up, right? Sometimes it takes one kid. So think about this. I've had practice growing up where I did 300 fireminutes for 3 hours, okay, 300 fireminutes. Some kids, it takes them 3 years to do 300 fireminutes, just because they're never intentional about the move. They're never focused on improving one move at a time. They come in here, they do 2-3 reps, they move on. So what I'm saying is, if you're really focused, you can really fast track your kid's success. But that starts with communicating with them and teaching them at home. Hey, when you go to practice, don't spend 10 minutes tying your shoes and going to the bathroom 15 times and talking about random things in practice, when we can really concentrate on maximizing our time and getting as many quality reps as you can. It matters. I promise you it matters. That's the difference between kids doing, that's the difference between, how come you have the same kids at the same club doing the same things and one of them succeed way faster than others? That's part of it. It's how focused they are in practice. Okay, next thing, preparedness. We encourage athletes to bring notebooks to every practice, okay? Because the reality is, we're throwing so many moves at them, even at this camp, right? We're showing them moves. The reality is, 90% of these kids, well, all of them will not remember these moves, okay? They just won't. They get distracted, they're all fired up about the hype, the workouts, meeting new friends, having fun, right? And we've showed them maybe 10 moves, they're gonna remember 2. That's not maximizing your time. What maximizing your time looks like is, as soon as we're done with each session, you pull out your notebook, write everything down, step by step. How did you learn it? And that becomes your library of wrestling moves, okay? Library of what we're working on. And so then, it's easy. If you forget a move, which they will, when you forget a move, I should say, or when we go to a match and we're saying, hey, why didn't you do XYZ? We've been working on this in practice, okay? And they're like, well, I forgot how to do it. Okay, that's fine. Did you write it in your notebook? Yes, okay. Go and review it. Now you're holding them accountable. It shouldn't take 3 years to remember one move. That's not productive. That's not maximizing your time, right? That's not being serious really about it. We joke, we have an inside joke. Sometimes it's like every day is a new day with some of the kids. They come in, we work on a move, they go home, out. They come in the next day, it's like they've never seen that move before in their life. And we're back to day one. And so it's like, doing that day in and day out, it's not really productive, right? Positive communication. How you speak to your wrestler before a tournament is crucial. Avoid hyping up events, competitors, which can lead to a mental defeat. Instead, keep the focus positive and simple, one match at a time. So, okay, we see this all the time. And I know you guys don't mean it, but you just don't really think about it, and that's our job, is to kind of educate you on this. So it's really easy to hype up a tournament. Let's say Tulsa, okay, because Tulsa is well known, right? And the hype is huge. So Tulsa. If you 1 month out of Tulsa, it's like, hey, we're gonna be signing you up for Tulsa, buddy. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I really want to go wrestle. Okay, great. It's a big tournament. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay, good. Spending a lot of money on this. I don't want you to go there and go 0-2, right? We got to be serious about this. I get what you're saying, but what they're hearing is two completely different things, right? Now they're already feeling the pressure. They're already stressed out. And you adding on other additional things, it's not, you might think it's helping them, but it's not. It's really not helping them at all. And then they go, and that's exactly what happens. They go 1-2, 2-2, 0-2, whatever. And it's like, see, I told you that was going to happen. I was afraid of that. We talked about it for a month. Why are you out here flat, not wrestling well? Shocker, okay? You know, they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years old. They cannot handle all that pressure that's artificially put on them. Does that make sense? Like, it's our job to keep them light. Let us hype them up before a match. Your job as parents is to encourage them. We're gonna give them the constructive criticism. We're gonna be hard on them sometimes, tough love, right? We're gonna hold them accountable on why they forgot certain moves. Why did they go out and wrestle flat? Why did they not have a good warm up? Why did they not believe in themselves? Why did, X, Y, Z, all these different things. They need a parent in their life. They have coaches. They need a parent. They need a supportive figure at home. Someone that keeps them positive and encourages them on their effort, their attitude, on their bravery to even go out and wrestle at a national tournament like that, right? So an athlete, and I was an athlete myself, right? So an athlete is already hard on themselves to begin with. They don't want to lose. They don't like losing. It sucks. So if they lose, think about this. I go out there and I wrestled like crap, and I know I wrestled like crap, and I'm already defeated mentally, and I step out, and now coach is giving me a constructive criticism or chewing my butt because I messed up on something. And now they're like this. And now they go up in the stands. You're chewing their butt. And now we expect them to come back and wrestle on the backside. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's just not. So you got to understand that there's a place for you to be a parent. There's a place for us to be coaches. There's a place for them to be an athlete. And we got to kind of keep it that way. If you trust us. If you don't trust us, that means you're the general manager. You're the head coach. And if that's the case, then you're not maximizing us as coaches, is what I'm trying to say. And if that's the path that you choose, that's okay. Just don't hold us accountable after that. Okay. Prioritizing practice. Now, how do I say this? So, in smaller communities, which I think Emporia is a somewhat small community, right? In Southwest Iowa, up where we're at, it's also a small community, so I see it all the time. What happens is, a lot of times, and it's not wrong, but I'm just saying, we gotta be aware of what's happening and make sure that you make a conscious decision on what you want for your athlete. Okay, so I'm just exposing what's happening. So in smaller communities, what happens is, everything that we do, 90% of it becomes social. That's our circle. So we go and play football because all of his buddies or her buddies play football. We go and play baseball because that's what everyone does. We go and we play baseball. So parents, we sign up kids for certain things because that's where all of our friends are, and it becomes a social circle. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But you also have to understand that if your kid is really excited about wrestling and they want results, wrestling is a unique sport. Wrestling is not like football. Meaning, if you love football, if your kid wants to be a football player and they come and they wrestle so they can help their football, that's great. Wrestling will really help them as a football player. But if you're a wrestler and they want to go wrestle Division I, that's their dream, that's their goal, or any college, right? If they want to go wrestle in college, or if they want to be state champion in high school, I don't see how football will help their wrestling. As a matter of fact, they might hurt them. They might get hurt, they might get concussed. If they're little guys, not big, like genetically gifted, like big football players, if they're little guys, they might get hurt, they might get run over, right? Baseball, I don't see how baseball is going to help their wrestling. It's just the reality of it, okay? Now, I'm not saying wrestle all the time. I know that that's, especially if you're a little kid, you should try a lot of sports. You should find their passion and see what they like. But there comes a time in their life where, guys, wrestling is extremely competitive. The US is one of the best countries in the world. Okay? So us expecting our kids to win a national title in one of the best countries in the world, you're putting them in the 0.0001%. But sometimes the actions don't match those expectations with what we input into that. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's already extremely difficult to be at that level. But if we're not prioritizing practices, then we're taking ourselves out of that equation. When it's possible, it is possible to be there. So what I'm saying is, learn how to slow down with wrestling, but not completely quit. Because what happens, and I see it all the time, is what happens is this. You come to season, like right now, November through February or March. So you wrestle for 4 months, let's say. And then you take 8 months completely off. And you come back 8 months later, and of course the kids don't remember anything. I mean, they're rusty, their timing is off, we gotta review all the moves again, starting from scratch. And it becomes almost this thing where we practice for this season, and just at the end of the season, we start gaining traction, kids feeling good, momentum's good, moves are starting to work well, you know, and then we stop. And we take 8 months off, and they show up, and it's brand new again. But the only difference is 1 year has gone by, and time flies. And we keep repeating that cycle, and we keep wasting years. And then they come to high school, and it's like, he's not, you know, he or she is not that good, and we like it during season, and now the dreams, you can't fake it, right? That kid doesn't even believe in themselves anymore. It's not even a realistic goal at that point. And the dreams kind of slowly dwindle, and they move on, and it's like, yeah, I wrestled in high school, I wrestled as a little kid, loved it. I probably could have done better, but I don't know why I didn't. And that's a repetitive thing, and you keep seeing that over and over and over and over again. So what I'm saying is, if that is what you're expecting, that's great. Wrestling will keep them out of trouble. Wrestling will make them better, stronger mentally. Wrestling will teach them, will make them stronger. There's so many benefits to wrestling. Teach them discipline, respect, humbleness, all these things. But if we're trying to chase results, we kind of got to change our mindset a little bit as well. And it doesn't happen overnight, okay? Next thing, building confidence. Confidence cannot be faked, believe it or not. They may act like it, they might act like they're really tough, but you can't fake it deep inside. They go out on the mat when things get tough, they fold mentally. And I see it all the time. Confidence comes with two things. Knowledge, confidence comes with competence, right? So knowledge, being knowledgeable in the sport. Being knowledgeable in the sport, knowing a lot of moves, knowing how to warm up, how to recover, nutrition, mental aspect, how to talk to yourself. All these things, that's when confidence comes in. But it takes time. And also, your work ethic and the work that you've put in. That you cannot fake. I was an athlete, okay? I knew when I went to a tournament and I didn't train for it well enough. I knew when I didn't put in the work. I knew when I cheated in the reps in practice. I knew when I didn't push myself in practice. I was just going by to show coach that I'm working really hard when he's watching. But as soon as he turns around, I'm not. right? And that shows when you go and you have a tough tournament or a tough competition. That's exactly when that shows. And kids fold mentally. And you're like, I don't know what happened to little Johnny. That's what happened. They don't believe in themselves yet. They're not confident, okay? So what I'm saying is, that starts with the attitude. We gotta change the kids' attitude in practice, the day-to-day. And then a year later, maybe 2 years later, they're gonna start getting confident, but it takes time. So don't expect for them to be super confident on the mat when they don't know a lot of moves yet. They're brand new to the sport or relatively new. If they're only seasonal wrestler, like wrestling 3-4 months out of the year, they're not gonna be that confident, I promise you. So we cannot expect this out of those kids. It's not realistic, okay? Wear the team brand. So I know that it's hard. We're brand new, the best wrestler, brand new here. I get that. Okay. We've gotten the blessing from the community. We've gotten the blessing from Emporia Wrestling Club. Okay, basically merged with them because they believe in what we're doing. They believe in our system. They believe in our message. They believe in our results, proven results. Right. In the last 4 years alone, guys. 4 years, the last 4 years, the best wrestlers have had world champ, 3 world team members, 8 Pan American team members. That means they made the world team. 7 Fargo champs. We've won the Nebraska State Tournament as a team 2 years in a row now. We've had, I don't know, over 100 state champions. So my point is, the proof's in the work, right? It just takes a little bit of time. But what I'm saying is, if we're not wearing the brand, and we're not proud of wearing the brand, our kids, fundamentally, there's something wrong with that. That means they're not excited and bought into the program. If you're not bought into the program, if you're not bought into the coaching and the team, right? That means you don't trust the system 100%. You don't trust the coaches. And if that's the case, you're not pushing yourself. You're not 100% in. You're always hesitant. You're questioning everything. You're doubtful. And if that's the case, it's impossible to peak your performance if that's the case. Think about this. I remember when I was signing up for college, okay? When I had to go wrestle in college, I get goosebumps. I was ecstatic to wear that brand. The college that I was going to, I was proud. I slept in that gear, right? Because it meant something for me. It meant that I was a part of something bigger than myself. And I trusted the coaches and I trusted the system. I trusted my teammates. And I was all in. That's the only way we're gonna bond as a team. We're all gonna be on the same page. And the teams that perform the best, the teams that exceed all expectations, are the teams that are close. You cannot have a division, gossip, drama, BS, and expect to show up somewhere and perform well. That just does not happen. If we want to maximize this town and create a powerhouse in this area and make sure that we're doing something and we're serious, we got to come together. We got to unite. We got to make sure our kids are not backstabbing their teammates, right? No gossip, no picking on each other, support each other, bring each other up. Have 1,000 leaders in here, right? That's the only way that we're gonna put this town even more on the map in this area. That's the only way we're gonna perform well. Communication with, I'm almost done by the way. Communication with the coaches. So if there is any concerns whatsoever, maybe one parent talked bad about another parent, one kid talked bad about another kid, one kid is picking on another kid, whatever, right? I've seen so many different scenarios. Please, please, please do not start gossiping. Do not start talking and spreading rumors behind each other's backs, because that'll backfire. That'll go back to you again, okay? The best way that we can handle these scenarios and these situations is immediately bring it to a coach's attention. I mean, right away. We gotta kill this rumor or drama or accident or whatever it may be immediately. You guys are adults. We gotta be professional. We gotta be supportive of each other. If something starts happening, bring it to a coach's attention. We're gonna have a one-on-one conversation here and there. Or if a kid's doing something, we're gonna have a meeting with them before the whole team knows about the drama, right? And we wanna kill it immediately before it grows wings and it becomes counterproductive and it becomes becomes more than what it should be really in the first place. Okay? So it's crucial for us to be united as a team and not start false rumors and drama for no reason. We're killing ourselves. We're killing the environment that we're trying to create. Believe it or not. You may think that it's good. It's good to like stand out and say, oh yeah, that guy, yeah, no. Or these guys, no, they're not that good. I don't know why they're not so serious. Or, yeah, little Johnny, yeah, he's terrible. But really what's happening, you're destroying the environment that you want your kid to thrive in. That's exactly what's happening. Okay? That is completely counterproductive to everyone. And if that's the case, we're not doing what we're meant to be doing here. Next thing. Accountability. No, support discipline. If your wrestler feels disciplined unfairly, so let's say they come home, we see this all the time. Coach is picking on me. Coach doesn't like me. I don't know, he's always picking on me, right? Don't immediately take their side. Please don't immediately take their side, okay? Speak with a coach first to understand the situation. Discipline helps long-term development. If we're being hard on a kid or holding them accountable, sometimes it's best for the coach to hold them accountable than for the parent. A lot of times they don't listen to their parents. We're here to help you, even at home, right? We're here to help you establish discipline, respect from the kid to the parent, respect from the kid to the coaches, respect from the kid to their teammates. Make them better human beings overall. That's the whole idea. And if we're being hard on them for slacking or cheating on their reps or not pushing themselves, we're doing them disservice because we're letting them lie to themselves. We're letting them get away with less than what they're capable of. That is the last thing you want out of us, I promise. You want us to hold these kids accountable so they can become the best version of themselves. That's the whole idea here, okay? And sometimes, yeah, we're gonna be hard on them because kids are always looking for excuses. They will always, us as humans, we're naturally gonna take the easier path all the time. It's easy, right? So we wanna hold these kids accountable and not let them get away with excuses and stuff that it should not be happening. So please don't take their side automatically. If you think that we're treating them unfairly or we're being too tough with them, come talk to us, please, to the coaches, okay? Accountability, it kind of goes same, but hold your wrestler accountable. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time, okay? Hold them accountable. There's no reason why they should go to practice day in and day out and not be able to remember 2 moves. That's crazy, right? That means that they're not serious about it. And maybe at that time we need to have a conversation with them. It's like, hey, do you want to wrestle or no? Right? We're emotionally invested in your kids as coaches. You got to understand. We lose sleep over your kids. And you do too, I'm sure, right? You're sacrificing, you're investing in your kids' future. You're investing financially, you're investing emotionally, you're investing time. As you should, your parents, that's what parents do. But my point is, we got to hold them accountable, right? It's not just you, it's not just us, it's them too. So if you're letting them get away with things that they should not be getting away, we're doing them disservice. That's the bottom line. So we got to hold them accountable. Tournament preparation. We got three more points. Tournament preparation. So 45 minutes before the tournament starts, your kid should have their wrestling shoes on and should be on the mat, and we'll communicate this, but let's say coach sends out a text and says, hey, we're warming up on mat 10. 45 minutes sharp before the tournament starts. There's nothing more frustrating than having one kid starts jogging, and then another kid trickles in 5 minutes later, they start jogging. And then the next one comes in, they start jogging. That does not look like we're a team. We don't look united. And they're not taking their preparation for that tournament serious. And then we wonder why they go out first match and they're sleepy. Yeah, little Johnny, he always loses first match. I wonder why. Or yeah, they always come out flat first match and they're not ready to wrestle. I wonder why. They showed up 10 minutes before the tournament started, right? So it's crucial for us to look like a team. Show up as a team. And that's intimidating to other teams, by the way, okay? Look united. Warm up together. Get the kids to get motivated, to inspire each other. Right? Warm up hard. Look united. act united, speak to them united, have a good warm-up, get together, cheer, spread out, let's go kick some butt. That's the best way to maximize the kids and get them fired up for the tournament, okay? But that starts with you guys. If you're late, if you don't wake up on time, if you don't bring them on time, what are we doing? We're not serious about this, right? And that's when things become frustrating, because we want to help your kid sometimes more than maybe you realize, right? So, next. Nutrition is crucial. So learn, educate yourself on what do we feed these kids during tournaments, right? If I feed them a bunch of fried food and then I wonder why they don't go and wrestle well, or their tummy hurts, or they get tired, or, well, you can't feed a race car with the crap fuel, right? You gotta put premium fuel in there. Like, you gotta put good quality foods, good quality drinks. If you want them to go out and perform well, not just one match, but 4, 5, 6 matches in a tournament, right? They have to have good nutrition, they have to feel good, they have to have good rest, they have to be mentally ready and sharp, and all the other stuff that go with it. But nutrition is a huge part. So if you don't know, it's okay if you don't know, how to manage the weight cut, how to eat before a first match, how to eat before a second, third, fourth match. If you don't know all these things, coaches do. Please ask them, educate yourself on that, okay? That's it for now. Any questions? You should have a lot of questions. Please ask.
Tournament schedule? Are you guys going to set
Tournament schedule, Coach Dusty.
I got the first two. I knew it was going to have my legs asleep, so I'm not going to be able to stand up yet. December 8th, Gardner Edgerton. December 15th is Junction City, the Brandwood Brawl.
So what we're going to do is, we're going to have a couple bigger tournaments, like preseason nationals, Tulsa, Fall Brawl, Battle of the Belt, where us as the best wrestler, all of us are going to be there. And that's going to be a blast. That's going to be fun. Nebraska kids, Iowa kids, Kansas kids, we all go and we wrestle together. That's going to be powerful, I promise you, okay? But there's going to be a few local tournaments as well that we're not going to be all together. And coaches, are you going to send that schedule off to them when you're ready?
Yes. So the problem is they're not all posted yet. So I have to go through like every district and find like who does what. It's not like on usawks.org right now. It's we got to find each district and go. I don't want to go to like Junction City one weekend and Wamego the next weekend when we're going to wrestle the same guys. So I'm trying to find places spread it around. But I should have the month of December at least out within the next couple of days. And we'll post that band app stuff. Okay.
So we're going to have a thing. So everyone that decides to, I don't know who we're going to have yet. Everyone that decides to sign up as a member, a couple things will happen. One, or let's talk to this. So you go to thebestwrestler.com, and we'll send you guys a thing that you can follow. But we go to thebestwrestler.com, you apply, you register, you fill out the registration form. And then from there, we'll send you an email saying, hey, welcome, we're excited. A link to a band app. It's called Band, B-A-N-D, Band app. And that's where all of the internal communication is going to happen. So like practice schedule, tournament schedule, notices, gear orders, whatever, anything is going to be in there. So all the internal team communication will be on there. And then as far as payments go, we use a software, it's called MindBody. It's really nice, and it's a good customer client experience. You guys log in, have your account, you see what membership you want to order, whether you want to go month by month or you want to go 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time, a year at a time, whatever you want to do. It comes with discounts, but you can manage your own payments. You see the schedule for practices on there. You see, it's just really nice and friendly to use, and you guys are aware of everything that's happening. So basically 2 things, Band app, MindBody software, that's it. But I'll send more information on that. But that's kind of how we're gonna handle all that.
Are you guys gonna have, like in November, we usually have like the 2-day clinic?
Yes.
Is that gonna still happen?
Yes, the flyer's actually done for that. So there will be like a newbie, I think was it like first year, or people that are just wanting to, try out wrestling, or either haven't or first year. we're going to have that little 2-day clinic as well. It's going to be, I think, an hour and a half on a Wednesday, Thursday, I think I put it on. But we're actually going to start the season November 4th, okay? So the new ones, normally you guys don't start till like November 18th. Okay, so we're starting about 2 weeks early, and it's going to be probably after the week after the more experienced guys have started. Okay, so they might start on the 18th, but everybody else that's wrestled before is going to start November 4th. Okay, because if we start November 18th, we got December 8th, the first right off the bat. That's only 2 weeks of practice, you know, before we get the first tournament in.
And then what are you going to do? Is there going to be an age separation for?
There is, yes. So the practice schedule right now is
Little champs. So we have 3 groups. By the way, the reason we named them, sorry, I'll let you finish. Again, everything has a reason. The reason we're naming these names the way we name them is because we want to inspire these kids. Our little kids group is called Little Champs. Why? They're champs. They're little champs. We want to make sure that they understand the message. Next group is called World Team Members. Why? That's a dream, right? That's what we're trying to go. They're already understanding that that's what we're chasing. Again, whether they get there or not is a whole other thing, right? But we want to encourage them to dream big. So second thing is World Team Members. And our high school group is called Future Olympians. So those are the 3 names for the age groups. 5 to 8? Is it 5 to 4 to 8? 5 to 8?
Yeah, I think it's 5 to 8. I believe it's about that. 5
That's
to 8,
Little
5,
Champs.
something like that.
9 to 13 is World Team. And then high school is Future Olympians.
And Little Champs will be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 to 7. All right, and then World Team is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 to 8:30. Okay. We're also hosting a Tuesday practice for those of you guys who were here yesterday with all these bands these kids are having fun with, playing with right now. Matter of fact, it's going to be a circuit from 6 to 7. It's open to anybody. Okay. So technically, the schedule has us, you know, working out, wrestling 4 days a week. Okay. You guys are used to like the Little Champs only having 2 days a week. You know, so we're doubling the practice times, and then even the World Team, you know, we have now was doing 3 days a week, and that third practice was optional. You know, only if you had a tournament coming up, you know, what that practice was for, to prep for it. So now we got 4 days a week for everybody.
Yes.
So I just like you to expand on it. So what I hear a lot is you talk about wrestling in November, February, March, right? Because it stops.
Yeah, there's
You can't do it. But where I come from, you hear about your birth and get out. So I think for me, part of the process is growth is that way.
Burnout.
How do you go about explaining that to your parents?
Yes. Thank you.
I'm a wrestling background.
Yeah. No, great question. Burnout's not real. I'll just put that out there right now. Burnout is not a real thing. Okay? Burnout happens when the kid doesn't really go on it and you push them too much. So lack of communication. Or something's not right. Maybe we're forcing them to cut too much weight and they use burnout as an excuse because it's terrible, it sucks. I don't want to lose that much weight either. And now something's really hard and we're letting them get away with saying, I don't really want to wrestle again because I'm burned out. So what I'm saying is, burnout's not a real thing. There's something else that's causing them the lack of desire to do something. Seasons is not a real thing either. That's artificially put in there, in my opinion. Do you have season at your jobs? Not really, right? You work all the time, right? So my point is, anything that you want to be good at, yeah, he's 56, he's not burned out yet. Anyways,
I'm 56 years old. I must start 13. I'm not burned out yet.
you gotta know when to rest your kid, right? Proper recovery, proper nutrition. Slow down, but don't completely quit, right? You can't be gas pedal to the metal 100% of the time. And a lot of that is listening to the coach's feedback, right? Hey, little Johnny maybe should slow down today, now wrestle live. No, I want him to go wrestle live. Or like, little Johnny should not go this week to a tournament. No, let's enter him in 2 brackets because he needs more matches. Like, slow down, right? You wanna make sure that we're not robots, right? So you gotta kind of go with the way the kid feels. So that's one big thing. But second big thing is we want to make it a lifestyle, and that's, I know it's new. I get it. Southwest Iowa, we're having that same problem. But realistically, anything that you want to be good at, it has to become a lifestyle, right? And even if you're playing other sports, again, that's okay. Don't completely quit wrestling for 8 months. Like, slow down a little bit, come maybe once a week, right? Just to keep it fresh in their mind, so they're not completely off. But slowly over time, by the time they go to high school, 8th grade, now it's like, okay, let's reevaluate our goals. What's your goal? My goal is to be a football player. Okay, go to practice, wrestling practice when you can, because it's gonna help your football, right? But if they come to you and they're like, hey, I want to go make world teams, I want to be an NCAA champion. Well, maybe it's time to go all year round wrestling, you know, because I don't know how football is gonna help your wrestling career, or track, I don't know, you know, or baseball, I don't know how that's gonna help your wrestling. Does that make sense? So it's just clear expectations, clear communication, and kind of trusting the coach's experience in that as well. Yeah.
Here you go.
Other questions? Yes.
I have 3.
Yeah.
Will we see you guys anytime other than just the big wrestling meets? Will you come back down?
Yes.
Practices?
Yeah. So we're gonna try. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to send someone down here or come at least once a month.
Okay.
That's the expectation.
Okay.
If it's more, good. But just because we get busy and we have tournaments almost, you know, a lot as well. But yes, we're gonna try to come. Also, another thing, I already mentioned that thing, but you guys feel free to, if you want to, if you have some time off or you want to come and see us in Iowa and train with us, do it. Just get a hold of me and come and train with us as well. But anyway, and we're gonna communicate when opportunities present themselves. Like let's say we're running a camp up there, we're gonna send it down here as well, so you guys will be aware of it. If we're doing international trips, which we have one coming up in March, we're going to Estonia. If you guys want to go, you're more than welcome to, right? Anyways, as opportunities present themselves, we're gonna communicate it with everyone. Yeah.
Second question. Do we know who the coaches down here will actually be yet?
I'm still working on it, yes, but when he's talking about accountability for the kids, you know, it's my job and our job to find the coaching staff that's going to hold themselves accountable as well. So I'm not looking for armchair coaches that are, you know, sitting there, all right, here we go, it's 1 minute, you know, and not engaged and interactive with it. So it's going to take a little bit longer. But we're just used to having like kind of part-time, you know, college guys come in and out, you know, which we like their enthusiasm. But I've got probably about 8 guys right now,
Okay.
and I can list that, you know, on the band app or whatever too, or I can make a flyer for it if we need to. But
Okay.
we got a couple. This new guy came in. He's fresh out of college, wrestled D2, Fort Hays State, and he just signed up with us. I got another JUCO guy that was actually #1 all class when he graduated from high school, you know, 10 years ago. He's ready to rock and roll too. So we got a good coaching staff so far, but I can get a list of names.
And just so you know, we're this parent meeting, we have a coaches meeting and coaches education as well on how to hold the same practice, how to hold the kids to a higher standard, how to communicate with the kids, how to communicate. So we have a whole coaches piece that's separate, that any coach that comes here is gonna be trained on what to do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And they already have a wrestling background. They already know wrestling moves, so it's not like we're reinventing the wheel. But it's just the system and the structure and the why are we doing certain things, right? Why are we not letting the kids talk? Why are we not letting them run all over the place and go to the bathroom 16 times a practice, right? All these different things that we're gonna educate them. But obviously, with anything new, it takes a little bit of time. There is I don't know, for lack of a better term, a little bit of onboarding period, right?
Right.
So.
Third
yeah,
thing, you talked about signing up. What does it actually cost? What's
So
the
there's-
actual cost?
Yes, there's 3 price options. So one for little champs, one for world team, one for future Olympians. So up in Iowa, it's different, but I know. But up in Iowa, we charge $97 for the little kids a month, $197 a month for the middle ones, and $247 a month for the big ones. Here, it's not gonna be that. It's what's the 47 for the little guys, little champs. 97 for the middle guys, and 147 for the oldest kids a month. That includes 4 practices. Obviously, our system, opportunities to train all over the place. Us coming down here, training with the kids. I mean, the whole environment, and we call it environment for success, right? The whole environment, the whole system, the whole resources to camps and training opportunities and all that.
Will there be a chance for like fundraisers and
Yes,
scholarship kind of stuff?
we're gonna be doing a lot of fundraising, and that's gonna help scholarship kids and, you know, that need it. and Matt Collins is actually going to be on board with that. He tried making the meeting today, but got tied up. But he's going to be in charge of a lot of the fundraising. We haven't really designated a role for him exactly yet, but he just says, let me know what you want me to do. So he's on board with what we got going on too, but I'm designated somebody specifically for taking over fundraising. So any ideas we got, we want to rock and roll with them. I don't care how constant they are, how much we got to hustle them, we'll get it going, okay? So hit me up, we'll get in touch with the right people, and we're going to have like a whole fundraising program, okay?
Yes.
So my son is 9, but it's his first year. What group would that put him in?
Right in the middle group.
Okay.
Unless you want, is he bigger guy or little guy?
Medium guy.
So the reason I'm asking is because if he's little guy, he might have more partners actually with the younger group, right? Just hit closer to his weight. But if he's, you know,
He's like 65 pounds.
so he'll probably have plenty of partners with the middle group.
If we have to move around a little bit too, that's fine.
Okay.
We can do it. We just want to make sure they got good partners so that they're on that same level.
Sometimes they get started
Still,
big, right?
like they still do that?
No.
Novice and open? Is that
Well,
still
novice is basically, I wouldn't say novice is little champs, but it's more of like that
So
group.
I can talk to you.
Okay.
So the reason we don't have novice and advanced is because, or novice and advanced is because, what's the message we send these kids, right? So we want to keep them with the same age group that they're with, because for partner purposes, for with their buddies purposes, right? And all of them are growing together. Now, some kids that are less advanced than others, it might be a fast track to learning, right? And it's okay if they don't perfect everything in 2 days. They're not going to, right? But now we're exposing them to the same moves that these guys are learning, and that's the fastest way for them to. If they really want to be good and they really pay attention, they take their notebook, they write notes, and they're intentional about it, you're going to see the fastest development in them than anyone, you know what I mean? So we're keeping them by age groups instead of novice or advanced.
So then you'll sign them up for the tournaments that they're ready for?
Parents sign up their own kids for tournaments. So we have the schedule.
Actually, Matt's doing that.
Matt's doing that. There you go.
He's still taking that role, so it make it easy, seamless for you guys. He's still taking over that part of the sign up for tournaments as well.
Perfect. Other questions? Please ask, guys. Don't be shy.
And most of the time, like novice people or novice kids, and we got an exception, you know, he's 9, but for the most part, I say 80% of them, the novice kids are the 5 to 8 age group anyway. We're just calling it a different name rather than calling it novice.
Right. I mean,
Still
how much
go to
experience
novice
a 5 years old is going to have? You know?
Right.
So I have another question.
Yeah.
So say there's been a parent that has been paying for 3 months, and then they fall on hard times, 4th month, and their kid can't come.
Scholarship.
Just communicate with us. We're
That's
not.
where the fundraising comes in.
I'm asking a lot of questions.
Siblings get discount.
Guys, finances should never be an issue for this, right? Now, in order for us to operate the system that we operate, have the equipment that we do, the facilities that we do, the opportunities that we do, it takes money. Nothing happens without money, right? So, but with that being said, we should never turn away someone because they can't afford it. Their kid wants to be good, their parents want their kid to be good. Money should not be a thing. We'll find a way to fundraise, we'll find a way to offer scholarships on needs-based. It should be okay. Yeah. Oh, another thing I mentioned. One of our goals, and that's part of the way we encourage kids. If you win a national title, so if a kid wins a USA Wrestling National Tournament, like Kids Nationals, Fargo if they're in high school, they make a world team, they make a Pan Am team, they win Super 32, they win...
USA national event, only USA national event. If it's an under,
Yeah, but not like Emporia Nationals, right? Like big national tournaments. What we do is we waive the kids' tuition for life. So we have like 10 kids up there that are tuition free for life. One of them, 8 years old, won Kids Nationals. He doesn't have to pay a penny for the rest of his life. So the idea behind this is this. Okay, no one randomly wins a national tournament, right? So if they win a national tournament, they're either really bought in, they're really talented, or they're really focused on what they're doing. And so now money should not be a thing. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see if you can be the next Olympian, right? Next world champion. Right? So that's kind of the idea.
You're good example.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Say that again?
Can you repeat it again when I can find this whole information?
Yes, so we're gonna, once you register and you become a member, you're gonna join BandApp. It's an application.
Okay.
And all the communication will be on there. I'll even send notes from this meeting on there as well. Like summary of it.
So when you sign up, the link will be sent to email.
Yep.
To them. And then you use that email to sign up to the website.
So right now, the way you sign up is you go to thebestwrestler.com and you go to Best Club. It's a tab. It's called Best Club, one of the tabs. And there's an online form, and you just fill out the form. And then after that, we'll communicate everything else. What else?
Dusty, are you going to be strict on the tournament schedule, or there's have of kids you know, that day
We
job?
can get the coaches go different ways, especially if we have like a tournament same days like Battle of the Belt. We can have a coaching staff going for both. Plus those guys will be there as well.
So the way we handle that is we put like 7 or 8 tournaments that we prioritize. That's where we want to peak our athletes. We want to show up as a team and do well, right? And that's where we guarantee we're going to have coaches as well. Because we cannot control like 200 parents. The one of them wants to take a kid here, one of them there, one of them there, one of them there. So after those core tournaments, if you want to take your kid somewhere by yourself, that's fine. As long as they're registered under the best wrestler, you wear the brand, that's fine. And a lot of times we have coaches there anyways. You know what I mean? We just don't want to again, over-promise and over-deliver, right?
And also, I'm trying to find tournaments that have open division, novice, and girls. So it's taking a little bit longer because if I send one over here, the girls are over here. We're trying to find tournaments that have everybody that's inclusive at the same place. And there's only it's harder to find than you think to get novice, open, and girls division because the girls division's growing and getting bigger. So it's hard to get it all in one location.
What else? Any concerns so far? Anything that you think I'm crazy or anything like you don't understand why we're doing it? Please ask. Yes. No. Only when they come.
Just out of
No. So that's why it's monthly. So when they're in season, they don't pay. When they come in March, then they start paying again. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. That's good. They can wait. This is important. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you have siblings, so we have sibling discount as well. So the way we do it is, so one kid is priced, 2 kids, you get 10% off the total. 3 kids, 20% off the total. 4 kids, 30% off the total. So that's kind of how it goes. Not just the additional, but like off the total. And that's something that when you sign up, and we email you back, get a hold of me and we're going to do it manually. We're going to put the discount manually on the Mind Body software. Because it's not, I don't know how to program it automatically. So we'll just manually do it on the back end. Yes.
Now 4 days a week all year round, right?
Yep.
Yes. And there's times I can't coach, like obviously this is one of them. That's why they look like I'm being hands-offish because, education violation and stuff. That's why you have the mats separated. So I can't be on there with the high school kids right now. And there'll be that time period, outside the season as well. That's when we'll have guys like Zarek and, some college kids coming in and running some practices with the kids that I can't work with. I can work with the kids all the time. But when it comes to high school kids, and if they're on the mat, I got to be really, really tricky about how we can coach practices like that. That's why we got to have a good coaching staff. There's perfect signs for banners we're going to be putting up for sponsors all around it. I don't care if it looks like a collage of businesses around here, because if they support us, we support them.
Someone else said that.
Yes, we'll be going out for those.
Yeah, great question. So I've ordered a bunch of singlets that are going to be coming in. They were supposed to be here, but they're not. Shocking. But they'll be here this week, I think. So we're gonna send those down here, or you can order them online and then we ship it to you. That works too. But gear, we're on the band app right now. It's already posted. It's an online store. It's a local company in Omaha, and they will ship everything to you. So basically, because it takes a lot of money, we can't really buy inventory that's sitting just here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do the online store. It's open for so many days. Everyone go order whatever you want, and then you get it. Yeah.
But the expectation is to have single.
The expectation, guys. Again, the expectation is to have at least a singlet and a t-shirt. So we look united. We look like a team, right? I don't think that's that much to ask. You know what I mean? So.
Do you guys cover the singlet?
Say that again?
Do you guys cover the singlet, or do we get the
No, yeah, everything is you get the singlet. Yeah.
And do the girls have it?
No, it's same. It's high cut. It works for everyone.
Certain colors,
Say that again?
certain color, team color.
So all the singlets are gonna be those black ones. They're right there. The black singlets, yeah.
For folk style.
For folk style, yeah. Yeah. Now what we do too is sometimes we have like a Rudis store that we open as well. But we're not probably gonna do this. They take like 3 months to deliver, 2 months to deliver. So you're not gonna get it until January. It's crazy. And it's twice the price for everything, right? So so we go with a local company for the gear, and then singlets. Well, we have a singlet company, so we make them in our manufacturer in Bulgaria.
For all the wrestlers, their expectations are shooting wrestling boys as well, or just girls?
What's your guys' standard on that?
Just parents' preference. So communicating with the coaches, and we go one by one cases.
I want 95% trying.
Girls wrestling other girls or boys. Because a lot of girls, you know, they're tough and they want to train with boys to get better. That's fine too. I mean, college girls, Olympians, world team member girls, they train with the boys a lot of time, with men, so they can get, you know, different look. So but if parents don't feel comfortable, totally fine. It's parents' expectation. Just communicate with the coaches. Yep. Yes.
So like on the singlets, instead of black and gold, is that what we're all gonna wear? We got the blue and black.
No, that's fine too. As long as the business
That's good because you can wrestle from folk style and freestyle backwards.
Like any like mini games or any type of like specific training that you guys do in Iowa, or should you offer that to us if we're gonna try it?
100%. Yes. So any kids that come up, we're gonna share all the information with you guys. Yep. So we have things like, we have a bunch of different things. Camps, 20-day camps in the summer, international trips, you know. So yeah, everything is communicated. Anything else? Guys, if anything else comes up, call me, message me, I'll share my contact in the band app. Message us, email us, call us, don't be afraid. Just ask, please, talk to us. We'll try to work things out with you. And again, the idea is to maximize your kids and start kicking some butt here locally, nationally. Thank you guys, appreciate you.
Thank you guys.